Yo, I realize that with each one of these videos that I make, it's going to be harder and harder for me to now walk around my space if I ever want to and say, hey, check out my garage. Because we're going to be reviewing HWPO's new training facility. We got Craig Ritchie here, and also Zach Talender was there. It seems as if everyone and their brother was invited to go see the HWPO Mecca, not Andrew Hiller. Why? Well, one of their biggest athletes has blocked me on Instagram, and I don't think that there wants to be any sort of a butting of heads, and I get it. That's not gonna stop me from talking over a video where there is a review. So here we go, we're gonna do this. Let's just start.
So we have it, look, so beautiful sign.
Beautiful sign.
And you just, like, I love the trees.
These were.
There's so much dead time in a Craig Ritchie video, and I'm not here to attack the Craig Ritchie style because there's also a lot of good to it, but it's just not my style because I chop it up and you just get going with it.
Planted especially, but it is a nice location.
They were planted especially. Here, a new HWPO facility, throw in this 40-foot tree just so we can have it as we drive into the parking lot.
Keys on February 14th, and that's been like some renovations, a lot of painting. We should show you guys some proof.
This is something I'm just picking up on. 2 months ago, they got the keys. Two and a half months ago, February 14th, is that about right? Something like that. Hold that thought as we get into the facility.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll insert some befores as we go around.
I'm never a big fan of walking into a reception area with the lights off. Imagine you walk into a Target, a Walmart, a grocery store, and the lights are off. You'd think it was closed. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Over on the left, it looks like there's a room over there, and actually I'm just seeing that too. The lights are off.
Have you left here?
It was, huh?
She slept here.
Have you left?
Pull out, no.
Oh, no, I just, no.
This chick, Erin, crazy amount of energy. You can hear her voice the entire video, it's just over the top. Erin's here, Erin's the one walking him around. She seems as if maybe she's a manager of the spot. And Matt O'Keefe backpack, plug that thing right here. Noble, There it is, big loud scream.
Welcome, O'Keefe. Welcome, Craig and Jazz. Opening day.
For the next part of the tour, Erin will take us through this room.
Would you like any coffee for the tour?
We see that coffee later too, so here's coffee now, here's coffee later. We're going into the communal area.
No?
We're good.
I'll take that as a no.
Thank you.
So the purpose of this room was to be like a big communal space for all of our employees. It's nobody's specific office. Got the couch, got the TV. Yesterday we had like a big...
Here's the deal. I told you this in the parking lot. 2.5 months ago, HWPO facility had opened, and I just can't get over the fact that I feel as if I'm walking through a hospital. It's very cold. And I don't know if this is the goal of it, but I would imagine it's not. I want everyone to think that there's a warm opening welcome to going into this facility, but it's almost as if it was rushed. And I don't know why all of these are rushed. When I did the Tia video, the thing that I remember is she's missing an entire dumbbell rack.
This is obviously our dumbbell storage.
Yeah, we are still waiting on our dumbbells to arrive, so they haven't arrived, and we also just need to
She goes, this right here, this is going to be filled with every dumbbell from 5s all the way up to 150s. And I'm just thinking, why didn't you wait for that to get here to make this video? Nobody's holding a gun to your head saying that you gotta freaking make this video right now. Wait a month. If they're on the boat to Australia, just give it a minute. But that's how I feel about this one too. It's a little bit rushed.
WDQ.
Yeah.
You sounded like Crash Bandicoot.
I'll build this out a little more. I think it's gonna be mainly an
Lights are off in here too.
editing room. So if that's like, if they're live in there, all the content.
Oh, that's right. Editors like to work in the dark. It's like the video gamers. They put their hood up, they put their head down, the screen is the thing that drives them, like plants and photosynthesis. It's video game light equals output.
People can be editing in here.
Look how cool this is.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is really cool. Saving the gym for the last bit, you know, obviously, because the longer you watch the video retention, the better the video does. So stick around.
I knew he was a smart guy. Yes, the more you watch the video, the more likely YouTube is to promote that to somebody else. Craig Ritchie's a smart dude. He knows what he's doing.
To the end of the video, I'm doing this on purpose.
So Sammy had this idea that she wanted to have everything
We have all of this stuff in here. This isn't cheap.
set up to the point that she will just get here, turn the lights on.
To me, this is a super cool room. Basically just a ready set up podcast interview room. Come in, turn on the lights, press a few buttons and you're underway recording. I love that.
So pretty much
1, 2, 3 cameras. He walks into it saying, this is really cool.
Look how cool this is. This is really cool.
To me, this is a super cool room.
To me, this is a super cool room. It's called being redundant.
turning the lights on, turning cameras on. We have a tight one for those 2 angles or 1. We have a wide one right here that's gonna show all 4. And this one's gonna show those 2. So we have a setup for 4. We have some really nice mics.
What a room. Podcasts, sit down if they have guests, if like whatever they're recording for YouTube, Spotify.
Again, the lights are off, and I don't get it. Again, it feels, this is your podcast studio. Hey, guest, come on in, feel nice and welcome. Welcome to the hospital. All right, the lights are off. It doesn't feel very warm. There's some plants in the back. That's cool, but you need something, some more. Warm it up a little bit. And I'm no sort of interior decorator over here, but I spent enough time wandering around the Lexus Center, Mom, to say, hey, there needs to be a picture of a fruit on the wall or something. Put something on the wall. And cue Jazz, she points at this, and I think this is a really cool picture. Of all the pictures, I agree, this is the coolest one.
That's probably my favourite artwork that
Yeah.
he's done. I like that one.
Let's turn the lights on.
I like that room.
Yeah, it's nice. It's edgy. I like how faded it is.
This reminds me of Groot.
Oh, it does!
That's good. See, this is what I'm talking about. There's things that I don't like about the Craig video, but I like that he points out this plant and goes, it reminds me of Groot. Like the little dancing tree at the end of the first movie after he saves everybody, you know. It is good, okay. Welcome to the hospital kitchen, where you have the same tables that you see in the hospital, the same fridge that you see in the hospital, and the same cabinets that you see in the hospital.
There's a kitchen, you know, for where you need to prepare food.
A few storage areas.
I think I just saw a VersaClimber over there in the kitchen.
Food, fuel, obviously very important.
Caution, microwave in use, just in case the Liver King walks in there.
Shields is one of my favorite tenants, and what I would say is don't make this too complicated, right? Start by turning off the Wi-Fi at night. We make sure that the Wi-Fi is either off at night or we're using shielding material to make sure that it's shielding us. So we use like a Faraday material over a router.
And you don't want to be anywhere near the radiation caused by the microwave. That's a weird sticker.
As an athlete.
When?
So next up for the office portion of the tour, we have Jake Marconi. Over to you.
Next up, for the next area that we're trying to save the electrical bill on the facility that nobody should be in yet because we haven't put the time in to really open it fully. It's been 2.5 months. We have Jake Marconi, who I think actually gives the best subsection of this tour.
Forgive me that I'm out of breath. I did 5 jump ropes.
He's pretty funny. That one, I think he was trying too hard, but over the course of it, he gets better.
This is the first office on the left, depending on which direction you're facing. There's a window. It's my office.
His office is full of bags. Clearly you can see that they're not doing office work yet. They're just storing bags for what I would guess is people who are now coming through the tour. I'd like a bag. Come, bring me in, I'll hold a bag, and maybe I'll make this video a little bit warmer.
This is the other office that we call the cathedral. So it's got this stained glass front on it. I think it's a little weird, but it has charm. Whoever sits there is who's gonna reprimand you. It'll probably be Aaron.
Sorry, just
You
put
wanna
my
get
box down.
I'll leave the light on.
It's the other office, but they don't really say whom it's for, and it's just a bag holding office. Okay, they have these offices, and all right, I'll talk about that in a minute.
This is the bathroom. I'm glad nobody was in there because I didn't knock.
That would have made the video nuts. Just Fraser sitting there with a newspaper. Hey!
This is Matt's office. This is what all the floors will look like. HWPO, as you guys said. The H, or that.
Along with the. What is Erin?
Hear Erin in the background, she's just laughing. She's having a great time, but it's a lot to consistently hear that over the top. I'm trying to listen to Jake. I want to know what's going on with these offices where the lights are off and.
This office is clearly not finished.
But it'll be common space that Josh and I will probably share when people are in town. Lots.
There you go. He says it's clearly not finished. Like the rest of the facility. It all seems like it's maybe 75, 80% of the way there. Even to the point where the offices feel like the podcast room, feels like the kitchen. It's just, you walk in, you go, oh, this could be very cool, but why couldn't you have waited a month? I mean, 2.5 months, you got a lot done. Clearly you got a lot done, but this room, we don't get it. Like, it just looks like a prison. You're gonna lock the door, you're gonna pad the walls. What are you gonna turn this into later? Just the room where when Jason misbehaves, you throw him in there and say, calm down. You can't do any more freaking sled pushes. They talk about that later. No more sled pushes for you. Sit in the padded room.
Of amalgamation of the minds going on in here. Yes.
And there's a sofa.
I love the ceiling.
It's always nice
Yeah.
when there's a sofa.
That's. What does that couch remind you of?
What does that couch remind you of? See, that's good. He's good. Giggity.
This is Sammy's office. As a skylight. You should show that feature. You should go right on in.
Sammy did say that Matt wanted this office, but she wanted it, so, you know.
Sammy spends a little more time in her office on calls.
They have these offices, and Matt's is over there, Jake's is over there, and Fraser's over there. It's just, maybe I've never been in corporate America enough to understand the necessity to have these separate rooms for all these people where, what do they have to have closed or like separate rooms for? Maybe it's just the way that this is set up and like the space for the gym and just the location, and then these offices were a byproduct and the doors will always be open, but it just, like, if I were Matt and Sammy, I thought I could share one big office, and then they're gonna go down to Matt O'Keefe's over here.
And then this is O'Keefe's office. Knock, knock. Nobody's here. He's got the red carpet, the couch.
Of
and
course.
those are for tonight.
Ooh.
See, they do this huge bit with these scissors here. And stuff like this is the stuff that I think just needs to be, all right, get to the next thing in the Craig Ritchie videos. More talking about what we're here for. Let's talk about the scissors. I like the group plant though. But I could see why O'Keefe would need his own office because he's the one that pushes everything forward. He's the mastermind agent dude. I don't get all of the other office. I don't get it. I don't get it. But it's cool, I suppose. And also, when I think office, I think of drawers and files and stuff and books and everything that you need to do your work, and what we have is a desk and a computer. And I don't understand what you need an entire room for a desk and a computer for. Maybe if you're making phone calls, you can be quiet. I get that, but how often is that necessary? Maybe, I don't know.
I've never seen a pair of giant scissors in my life. Yeah, you just order them online. Wow. It's way less spectacular than you think. I mean, it's a real scissor though. Yes. Like.
Okay, hold on. Nick.
A little disheveled right now, but
I wonder if he meant he's disheveled or the room is disheveled, because it seems like a little bit of both. O'Keefe, while he apparently is one of the smartest humans on the planet, I don't know him personally, but he isn't the best personal speaker because there's a lot of ums, a lot of uhs, and I mean, dude, all you're doing is you're showing us a sauna and some ice baths. You'll see.
So we wanted to build the athletes their own space, and I think this will evolve a little bit. We want to maybe put their names up, the coached athletes, so that they have like some dedicated space.
I can picture the names, you know?
It'd be so cool.
We're in the hospital, and I can picture what this will look like eventually once you've actually developed the facility. I get it. This is a big thing, guys. You look around, like over there, you can see that red thing with the black. That's a sign I got from Vindicate. Up there, I put those things recently. If you watched the channel for a while, those weren't planned to be there. But at no point before those being hung up would I have said, yeah, at some point I'm going to stick something on the ceiling, or at some point I'm going to put a sign on the wall. And what else in here? Most of the stuff that I had in here was there, and then I had no vision for where it was going. And if I did, I don't think I would have said, oh, eventually I'm gonna get. And here's the other thing is, the things that are put into my garage, or even my affiliate at some point, were there because they needed to be there. And I didn't have a vision as to say, oh, at some point we're gonna knock down this wall, and someday we're gonna walk down that wall, but we haven't gotten to it yet. I don't understand why this entire thing needed to happen right now. That's the general thought that I had as I was watching this. I have a set of jerk blocks. You see those things over there? It's not like I said, hey, at some point I wanna have these jerk blocks. Somebody gave me those jerk blocks. But if I were making a video a year ago and I had the same flow as this video, I would say, hey guys, in some time I'm gonna have jerk blocks. I'm gonna put them right here. 1, I don't care. 2, why don't you have them yet? In the case of me, if I hadn't had them yet, it's probably because I didn't have the money to buy a $1,000 set of jerk blocks. But in the case here, they have what I would think would be the manpower to put stuff up of the athletes. I think that they would also have the money to get the stuff in the place that they need to be gotten. It just makes no sense.
Tomorrow, bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow the sun will come out tomorrow.
Tell me they got that in slow motion.